Hello guys, this is Mr. 60 Anime. Today, we're finally going to talk about Dragon Ball, Goku's lost arc on Planet Yardrat, Part 9. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, feel free to click the like button so you'll always stay updated with more content like this. Now, before we dive into Part 9, let's do a quick recap of the previous part. In the last episode, we saw Goku still continuing his training, while Frieza was already planning to head to Earth to finally set their plans in motion. And with that, we now enter Part 9 of Dragon Ball, Goku's lost arc on Planet Yardrat. The first panel begins with Goku still focused on his training, trying hard to master instant teleportation. However, even after 2 hours of non-stop attempts, he still couldn't pull it off. Meanwhile, Hushu was starting to feel uneasy, sensing that he was getting dangerously close to Goku's location. By this time, Goku had already been training for several months, yet he still couldn't fully perform instant teleportation. The biggest obstacles holding him back were exhaustion and hunger, which kept slowing his progress. At one point, Goku even felt like giving up, but his determination pushed him to continue. On the other side, Hushu was also suffering. His heart condition was slowly worsening, draining his strength day by day. After several more days, Goku finally managed to master instant teleportation. But at the same moment, one of the worst events was about to unfold on Planet Yardrat. While Goku was still training, he suddenly sensed something unusual. Hushu's aura was growing weaker and weaker. At first, Goku thought it might just be another part of his training, but what confused him was that Soba was with Hushu at that exact time. Out of concern, Goku quickly focused his energy and attempted to use instant teleportation. The scene then shifts to a hospital, where Soba anxiously asked the doctor if Hushu would be okay. But the doctor shook his head and explained that Hushu only had a few days left to live. His illness had been with him for a long time, and now his body couldn't take it anymore. Soba then wondered aloud if other Yardratians might also be infected with this sickness without even realizing it. At that moment, Goku suddenly appeared in the hospital room, successfully using instant teleportation for the very first time. Excited, he said, "I did it. I finally pulled it off. But what's happening here?" Soba was shocked to see Goku's sudden arrival, realizing that Goku had already mastered the technique. Without wasting time, Soba explained everything to him. Hushu had suffered a heart attack, and his condition was now critical. His life was nearing its end. Goku, desperate, asked if there was anything they could do to save Hushu. But Soba sadly replied that it was already too late. Nothing more could be done. At this point, Hushu, weak but still conscious, slowly spoke. He told Goku, "You did it. You finally mastered instant teleportation." Goku responded with emotion, saying, "If it weren't for you, I never could have done it." Then, with his remaining strength, Hushu turned to Soba and said, "Before I leave this world, could you please lend me your hand?" At that moment, Soba immediately followed what Hushu asked. Hushu then looked at him with a faint smile and said, "Thank you, my son." Those words shocked Soba, leaving him speechless. It was then that Hushu finally revealed the truth to Soba. He explained that he was one of the few remaining mortals of their race. When Frieza's army attacked their planet long ago, Hushu fled quickly to Planet Yardrat. His purpose was to prepare his people and continue spreading the knowledge of their race. When they finally arrived on Planet Yardrat, Hushu's wife wanted to pass down a powerful technique she had invented, and she wanted Soba to inherit it. But at that time, Hushu refused. He feared that if Soba learned the technique, Frieza might eventually take it away from them, especially if Soba ever betrayed their kind and joined Frieza's army, just like what his brother Zindel had done. Later on, during the Ginyu Force's invasion of Planet Yardrat, Hushu saw something that deeply hurt him. He saw Soba surrender to the invaders. To Hushu, it felt like his own son had betrayed him. The Yardrat people managed to survive the attack, but many of them, including Hushu, became slaves under Frieza's control. Their freedom was stolen instantly. Because of this, Hushu chose to live in isolation, away from the others. But when Goku arrived and fought against King Cold's soldiers, Hushu saw a different side of his son. He witnessed Soba fighting with the spirit of a true warrior. willing to give his life to protect the people. It was then, with the arrival of a scion like Goku, that Hushu finally realized who his son truly was. Through his final words, Hushu told him, "Thank you, my son. Never forget who you really are." Hearing this, Soba couldn't hold back his tears. He cried as he apologized to his father, saying he was sorry for all the mistakes he had made and for not living up to his father's expectations. Moments later, Hushu finally breathed his last, leaving this world behind. His death brought great sorrow to the entire planet of Yardrat. Even Goku, someone we know as carefree and lighthearted, felt deep sadness over the loss of one of the planet's masters. More than sadness, Goku felt disappointment in himself. Despite all his power, he couldn't do anything to stop the death of a dear friend. Although Hushu had passed away, his spirit and the teachings he left behind would continue to live on through his son, Soba. Meanwhile, in another place, Shima was shown making a difficult choice. He decided not to follow his master, King Cold, anymore. Instead, Shima returned to his original goal, fighting for what he believed in. He even eliminated some of King Cold's soldiers along the way. But while he was carrying out his mission, he learned a shocking piece of news: Frieza was still alive. Even so, Shima did not waver. He refused to be shaken by fear and chose to continue on his path. He was doing all this to repay the great debt of gratitude he owed to Goku. After that, Shima quickly departed once again. His destination? Planet Yardrat. He needed to warn Goku about Frieza's upcoming arrival on Earth. At the same time, the scene shifted to Frieza's spaceship, where he and his forces were already en route to planet Earth to carry out their grand plan. However, because of their current location in space, it would take them about 20 days before they could reach the planet. In that very moment, one of King Cold's men detected Shima's ship nearby. Furious, King Cold immediately threatened Shima, warning him that what he was doing could destroy the Empire and ruin their plans. But instead of being intimidated, Shima only laughed. His mocking laugh pushed King Cold into an even deeper rage. King Cold then spoke again, saying that he would finish this matter in a way Shima wouldn't like. But before that, he would first destroy the Saiyan. Cold wanted to stop their spaceship so he could personally go after Shima. However, Frieza disagreed. He told his father to leave Shima alone. Frieza said that he himself would take care of Goku by wiping out his friends, his family, and even his home. After a few more days, Shima was finally close to reaching Planet Yardrat. Meanwhile, Goku and Soba had just finished an intense training session and were discussing their improvements in battle. But suddenly, something unexpected happened. Someone arrived on Planet Yardrat. Both Goku and Soba were shocked. Goku quickly sensed the key of the newcomer and realized it was Shima. Confused, he wondered why Shima had returned to Yardrat. Without wasting time, Goku and Soba rushed to his location to confront him. Shima himself was surprised to see them arrive so quickly, but he immediately spoke up. He was no longer their enemy. He explained that he had something important to tell Goku. Frieza and King Cold were on their way to Earth. The news stunned Goku. Meanwhile, Soba asked Goku, "Are you sure you finished off Frieza?" Goku himself added, "That's impossible. I know I destroyed him. Even if he somehow survived my final attack, he should have been completely erased when Planet Namek exploded." But Shima insisted it was true. Frieza was alive. He explained that Frieza and King Cold would reach Earth in about 15 days. That meant Goku needed to head back right away if he wanted to save his planet. Shima then added that he would stay behind with Soba to help protect Planet Yardrat in case King Cold's army attacked again. Hearing this, Goku turned to Soba. He explained that his friends were in grave danger, so he needed a spaceship immediately. Soba agreed, and they went to the Yardrat base to prepare one. He even programmed the ship's course directly to Earth. But before Goku departed, Soba became emotional. He thanked Goku for everything he had done for their planet and expressed his hope that Goku would once again defeat those evil beings. He told him that their future now rested in his hands. Shima too expressed his desire for Goku to defeat Frieza, knowing how much of a threat Frieza truly was. And with that, Goku finally departed from Planet Yardrat, heading straight toward Earth. Days later, Frieza and King Cold's spaceship drew close to Earth. Frieza declared with cold fury, "This time, Goku will taste my true evil." King Cold then asked, "So this is planet Earth? We could destroy it easily without even landing." But Frieza smirked. He didn't want an easy victory. He wanted Goku to suffer. He wanted Goku to see the corpses of his friends before he finally destroyed him. The scene then shifted back to Goku, who was still inside his spaceship. He was still far from Earth, while Frieza's ship was already nearing the planet. Goku needed about 3 more hours of travel before he could arrive, but Frieza was already moments away. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the Z warriors suddenly sensed Frieza's terrifying ki. All of them were shocked beyond belief, and in just a few minutes, Frieza's spaceship landed successfully on Earth. Frieza stepped out, looking around and said, "So this is Earth? Not such a bad planet after all." King Cold followed, noting that they had around 3 hours before the Super Saiyan would arrive. He asked Frieza if he wanted to wait. Frieza grinned and replied, "Of course, while we wait for Goku, I'll torture his friends one by one." So what will happen to Goku's friends? Will Frieza succeed in his plan? Will Earth be destroyed? We'll find out in the next episode.